Ladies and gentlemen, I am ecstatic to welcome to the show the reality TV star, a celebrity apprentice, the musician, a songwriter, the man who wears many hats, the man himself, Bret Michaels. Bret, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on, my friend.
Bret, we want to really start off talking where it all began for you. Now, if people don't know this, and maybe this may shock you a little, what if you heard one of your very first bands, Paris, on tape today? What would the Bret Michaels say of Paris and one of his early bands before he rose to fame?
I would be, let me say this, excited, and here's why. Let me explain. My heart and soul is as passionate today as when I started. The difference is I have the same passion. Let's say I have a little more experience. Like when I would go into the studio to record with Paris, and when I say studio, you got to remember I was moving stuff out of someone's basement to the left. I was standing in a septic tank / sump pump water, if you know what I'm talking about, helping to move the pool table out of the way so I could get to the microphone to sing. My experience is a little better today, but I was so excited. Knowing how much I love music, I was so excited to be in those studios. I didn't even know how to put the headsets on right. I just was excited to actually sing, and knowing that a lot of, I say this, due to a lot of hard work, a little cursing, and dedication, I've got to live a really awesome career doing what I love to do and feel grateful for it.
Oh my God, yes, because it began there, and then of course you went on for not one, not two, but 3 multi-platinum albums to follow that. Look What the Cat Dragged In, Open Up and Say Ah, and of course Flesh and Blood. I mean, that really kind of launched you into the stardom. And when you think about it now, looking back, what are your thoughts about that earlier time period in your life?
Here's why I loved it. I wouldn't change it for the world. Those things, when that's happening, here it is for me. I don't want to speak for other musicians or artists. We were one of those bands that, I lived behind a dry cleaner on a sleeping bag on a floor for 3 years. We went and played shows. We did what we wanted to do but needed to do to survive. And remember, again, I have an extra added kicker, being a type 1 diabetic with 5 injections a day at this point, and that point. And so I wouldn't change it for the world, because we were one of those bands that we grew gradually. So it wasn't like, let me say this, I think a lot of people would kill to be able to walk onto an American Idol or something and it blows up, right? That's great. I'm not putting it down. I'm saying that's an amazing thing. But for a rock band, you're truly kind of an underground cult thing. You go in, you're playing your music, you're literally going into clubs that half of them don't want to, as you're starting, they don't want to pay you. You're moving gear out of the way to fit in there. And my point to all that is, I literally loved every minute of it, because it's all I knew. And as we grew, we became an independent band. We bet on ourselves. We held on to our publishing and did a distribution deal rather than sell it away. And all that came back to be both creatively awesome and financially it was awesome as well.
Well, your success really hasn't ever stopped, and we'll kind of fill people in as we go. Bret Michaels joining us today, August 16th at the Crystal Grand Theater in the Wisconsin Dells, headlining the huge festival that's going on out there August 16th. We can't wait to see you, Bret. From that time period, you then kind of took some time to yourself and started to come out with some of your own albums. Back in 1998, A Letter from Death Row, Songs of Life came out in 2013, Freedom of Sound in 2005. I mean, you really continued to perform and write music as a musician.
Always, and I want fans to know this. I'll say this directly. I love Poison. I love Cece. I love Ricky. I love Bobby. We're brothers in crime together, right? We've been through a lot together, and that will never change. We will always go out, pick a year, and make it special. We'll go for 2 years with Def Leppard or headlining, then we'll take a year or two off. But for me, I live to be creative and passionate. I pick up my guitar daily. I'm playing music. I love to write new stuff, and I mix that in, like the solo show mixes all the Poison hits with all the stuff that we've done over the years seamlessly. In other words, I just, when I hit that stage, my energy level is on 1,000. I'm excited, and fans get to hear all the kids that they know, and they get to hear new stuff like Unbroken or Go That Far from Rock of Love, and we just keep the party rocking right through it. But again, and I want people to clearly understand, I love Poison, I love the solo stuff, but being creative is what I live to do, but where my skill lies is in getting it done, and that comes through a lot of hard work and being devoted to what you're doing.
Bret Michaels joining us today, August 16th, headliner at the Crystal Grand Theater in Wisconsin Dells. Bret, you're kind of hitting the nail on the head. You're not a man to ever kind of sit still or stay in one place for a long time at all. You were obviously the winner of 2010 Celebrity Apprentice #3, your own reality TV show. You had Rock My RV. Go ahead and brag, Bret, but I mean, you can really brag about your eldest daughter right about now being a swimsuit finalist for Sports Illustrated.
Well, first of all, thank you, and I love being a dad, and also with both my daughters, Rain Elizabeth Michaels and Georgia Blue Michaels. They are again. You hope that you've inspired them. You hope that I always have their back, and I'm protective. My oldest daughter is Rain. Is one of the finalists out of, 20, 30,000 people that officially tried out. She made it to the top 6 and now is in Sports Illustrated magazine. She goes through a school for journalism and broadcast, and also she loves music, so she goes to a university for that. My youngest daughter wrote the new song Georgia Blue, goes to a music school, and she sat down at the piano. We were both going through a little bit of a tough time in our life for different reasons. I was dealing with some stuff with my diabetes and some other stuff, and she was going through a tough time at her age through a few things, and we sat down and wrote this song, Unbroken. And I truly ask people, again, I want them to hear it first. Go and check out the video at bretmichaels.com for Unbroken and listen to the song. It's a really inspirational song.
Well, the thing I like about it, and I've heard it quite a few different times, Bret Michaels talking with us today, headlining Crystal Grand Theater August 16th. The name of the new single, Unbroken. Bret, you mentioned it. You co-wrote that with your daughter, Georgia Blue, and on there, she makes a couple appearances in the video, but the song is really about overcoming adversity and finding strength.
1,000,000%, and all of us go through stuff. We all have our stuff that we, both good and bad, but stuff, we all have our tough days. And rather than writing a song that took people further down, we wanted to say, look, we go through this, but we got to find that fight inside of us. We've got to find that strength to stay unbroken, and that is about being stronger than the storm sometimes. And I face that adversity, as do you. Both of us are in that fight together, and I face it, and I find a way to make it positive. Same with songs like Something to Believe In or any of that. It's sort of, again, finding that positive energy inside you to keep on rocking on.
Well, Bret, I have to ask, as a father, were you surprised at what she was bringing for the table of, hey, Dad, I can write music and I can play? Were you at all surprised, or were you just like, oh, my God, like father, like daughter?
Here's what I loved about it. what I want to say, Georgia is an old soul since she was a kid and strummed the guitar before she can make a chord and write, literally, I'm not making this up, she would write music that was lyrics that were really good, were well beyond her years. And so when she stood down, I wasn't surprised. It was just such more of an amazing bonding moment that she was that going through some pain. She was vulnerable, and she wrote this really raw lyrics with me, and we just kind of penned it together, and that's exactly how it happened. Right, sitting at the piano and writing it, and it was a really awesome moment.
Well, it's awesome that we're gonna tell me, Bret. Don't toy with me. Don't toy with me. Tell me we get to hear that live Friday, August 16th at the Crystal Grand Theater.
1,000%. It is the Unbroken World Tour, and that is part of we play it early in the set. You know, like I said, we hit you with Talk Dirty to Me, Ride the Wind, Mama Don't Dance, Unbroken, Go That Far. Then we get into the Fallen Angels, Nothing But a Good Time, Unskinny. It's just a night. People will see it and feel it. We've had a lot of great years playing there. Wisconsin I just absolutely love the people and the state, the mentality. The Dells is going to rock, and you will definitely hear it.
Well, we're going to hear it live August 16th, Crystal Grand Theater. And Bret, let's not kid around a bit. You and everything that you bring to Wisconsin, you were the last band to actually sell out the Brown County Arena in Green Bay, not far from us. I mean, that was huge.
That was amazing. First of all, year after year with Poison or myself, we have gone to the arena and started our shows there, our world tours. We decided we were going to call it Nothing But a Good Time for the last time in the arena. And I want to say this, give credit where credit is due. The fans, 3 generations of them, made that day probably one of the most special days of my life. It's brought me amazingly good luck in my life. And one of the bands that we happen to have on that bill, the Ghost Hounds, are now opening for the Stones. They were a surprise announcement and friends of mine, and you brought them some good luck. So the fans there are just, when I say this, they really know how to be real, but they also know how to party, and it was an awesome feeling.
Well, we can't wait to get that feeling, and of course, the huge Bret Michael experience itself. Head on out to BretMichaels.com for the latest single, Unbroken. That's available there, and of course, August 16th, the show that everyone's talking about here in Wisconsin. Bret, we're going to get a little personal then. You play the big arenas, the sellout tours time and time again, but you also have some country boy at heart. What's the biggest difference between playing a small country bar versus a huge arena? Do you have a preference?
Here's the deal. I love them both the same, and don't ever misunderstand this. I go into every show with the same amount of energy and passion. You'll never see me walk out there and I'll never, as they say, phone it in. And so when you go, for example, this year, I got to co-headline Stagecoach with Luke Bryan, Cole Swindle, Kane Brown, and Guy Fieri comes up on stage, and we did we broke the record there, an insane show. It was insane. And then the next night we're playing a huge rock festival, and I give the same amount of energy. So whether we're going into a smaller venue, whether, Stagecoach had 80,000 people in front of the stage that night. It was insanity. But then you turn around, and I've played smaller venues, and I love them just as much. And no matter what, the one thing I ask for is for them to give me a thrust, a ramp. I have to be able to touch fans' hands. If you ask any promoter, I said, I can't be 40 feet from the fans. I can't do it. So this year at Stagecoach, it was the first time they built a thrust on the Palomino stage to go out into the audience, and it was incredible.
The man is setting he's recreating the stage experience for us, for you, the fans of Bret Michaels. BretMichaels.com, Friday, August 16th at the Crystal Grand. Bret, we can't wait to see you perform live.
I can't, to be honest with you, I can't wait to be there. And please, when I say this truthfully, let all the fans know it's going to be incredible. And then I have a very special announcement I'm going to make with you for one of my Crocker Fest that kicks off next year. And it looks like it might be very close to you at the stadium. And when I say Crocker, it's a mix of cooking, country, and classic rock, all put together in an experience for the fans. And when you see the way we produce this show, it is going to be incredible. And you're going to get a taste of it at what we're going to do at the Dells. It's going to be awesome.
We can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, Bret, we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with us. And, of course, we'll put a link up to your website so people can go out to BretMichaels.com and check out the brand new single and the video. It's out there as well. The name of the song, again, is Unbroken. Bret, it's an absolute wonderful song.
I can't thank you enough. Thank you for all the great years. And like I said, we're going to do something amazing with us. We'll work together at some great diabetic charitable stuff that I leave with my Life Rocks. At every show, we leave something awesome behind. And we're going to bring all of our veterans, our first responders, and hometown heroes on stage with us at the Dells. We're going to make it a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bret Michaels. Bret, thank you again.
Thank you. God bless, man. Have a great day.